Hello, and welcome to the debut of the prior teased smaller segments here on Leaking Out. Little short bites between episodes that y'all can eat up and experience. I have with me a returning guest. Welcome back, Gotzillard, to the show. Thank you for coming, for being here.
Hi, hello, hi. I wish I was here. I wish I was motivated to do this for a better reason,
Yeah,
but
of
here we
all the
are.
things we could be talking about, we could be talking about, I don't even know, it's a good thing.
Starship Godzilla, Absolute
Sure,
Wonder Woman,
sure.
Ultimate X-Men,
Yeah, we could be
things
talking
I
about some good.
like.
Instead, why don't you tell the folks at home what exactly we're talking about today?
We're talking about Absolute Batman because I'm
Yes.
insane now. This book has
Yes.
made me insane, and you're at home saying you were already seemed pretty insane. Like more. I'm more now.
It's broken you in a way.
Yeah.
There's a fundamentally you're a fundamentally different person post this most recent issue. But for the sake of transparency, I think we should do before we talk about all that, before we talk about your just mental underneath, right?
Sure.
I think we should go back. What's your timeline with Absolute Batman? What's your relationship to it? How did you feel before? How did you feel when it started happening? Where are you now? Is that you get where I'm driving at?
Sure. It would have been incredibly difficult to not be swept up in the hype of the whole
Oh yeah.
new universe and all this stuff. But this is the flagship book. Like this is Absolute Batman is the one that they want you to be excited about. And
Yes.
that's still true. And back thinking back on it, I wasn't like, oh my gosh, this is like a 10 out of 10 whenever it came out, like I was with like the
Yeah.
first issue of Ultimate Spider-Man. Uh,
Uh,
I just remember that just being like the one of the tightest issues I've ever read, but that was not what
yeah.
we're talking about.
It's a solid introduction.
Yeah, but like it was really clear in that first issue. I read it like just before we started recording. Like I read that again. I respect it so much for everything it did, which
Hmm.
was, it gave us a new twist on these things that you've known about forever. And it did it in a really like interesting way. And that first issue, while it is extreme, it's not ridiculous.
It's within reason. Yes, I agree.
The craziest thing that happens is that Batman drives a motorcycle off a rooftop. It's like, sure,
In the
that's not
terms of
much.
Batman, that's not like groundbreaking or anything, right? It's like
Sure. Yeah, it's not like recently Batman fell from space and survived, so
yeah, like we're in a different time, we're in a post falling from space world.
yeah. Um and it's like there's such an energy about the early issues. It's like this is everything's dangerous and it's all new.
Yes.
Um and I appreciate that so much. Uh and I came like after I finished reading it, I was like, yeah, that really just highlights like all the problems I have with it now. But no, you were asking about my history. Like, yeah, I've been following it since like the day it came out. Um
Uh-huh.
and it was exciting and I was super on board with it until Bane. Uh
Until Bane.
yeah, which is what that is 9 issues in, I want to
Yes.
say.
That's issue 9.
Yeah. Um gosh, it just there's
Well,
there's
and
so
talk about
much.
like an early start, right? Talk about like
Yeah.
an early you know, we just because of the nature of when he was invented, like Bane has always been a late game villain, right?
Yeah.
Historically, he's like a big deal. Nolan ended his trilogy on Bane. Did Nightfall and everything. Like he's always kind of a big deal. So already off to a wild start by having him show up in issue 9. Um,
Yeah.
and then what Snyder decided to twist about the absolute Bane.
You
He's
know,
like, yes.
I'm not the
Mhm.
biggest Bane person, but like honestly, I gotta say, like reading his that issue where it does his origin, and I'm like, I don't like. I wasn't sold on him.
Mhm.
I guess you could probably speak more to that since I'm not a Batman person.
I mean, my thing with Bane has always been, I think he's more interesting the more intimate of a relationship he has with Bruce. What I don't like about the original like Vengeance of Bane storyline is that they're kind of just strangers. Like Bane just decided he wakes up one day and he's like, I'm gonna fucking ruin Batman. I'm gonna absolutely like decimate him.
As you
And
do.
I'm like, okay, like whatever. But then, and I know I'm gonna lose some people with this, but I'm gonna speak my truth. But then you compare that to like City of Bane in the Tom King run, and it's like really well earned. Like they're competing to be the heirs to the League of Assassins, which is pretty cool. Like you have this great moment where Bane's like, no masks, no personas, just you and me, and they both like take off because Bane obviously knows his secret identity. So he takes off. They both take off their masks and they just like fucking duke it out in the middle of Gotham. Like I hate when Bane is like a stranger, I guess. And I think that happens a lot when they focus on like him being a strong character, like, oh, look how buff he is. And that's where you get with Absolute Batman, right? Is that it's like, oh, look at this hulking. Like, especially the way, and I love Dragota's art, don't get me wrong, but like the way he draws Bane, I'm just like, he literally looks like a penis man. Like, he looks like a walking penis.
Yeah. I can't say I've had that thought, but hey,
Well, do you
um,
see how like skinny his little head is on top of his like swollen body? You know what I mean? Like,
you
especially the
kind of
cover.
might.
Like you had me like pull up issue 11 here. Like you look at his tiny little bean head.
Oh
Or
my
issue
gosh,
9
yeah.
actually. He
He
looks like a
does
giant
look
penis.
insane. Like,
Yeah.
that's the point. Is that like, oh, what is Absolute Bane if Absolute Batman's big? Like, he's huge. That feels like the first idea, you know? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think we're getting a little off track here, but
No, that's fair.
I just wanted to reiterate, like, why do we like that first issue? Why were we so excited about it? For me, I mean, you know, I think this book at its best when you can tell exactly what the person writing it was thinking and like what they want to
Hmm.
talk about. Be that like school shootings or white supremacy. Um
Yes.
or like how if there's limits to this, I'll how like the richest among us are like, just feeding on our babies or whatever. I don't know. That the Joker stuff, that's a whole thing. We can get into that later.
Oh,
But
for sure.
and that is to say, like, yeah. So to hear Scott Snyder talk about this book, it's like, well, how do you redefine Batman for a new era? Like, people don't like younger people don't see like rich people as the way that they used to. So like we take his money away, so he's more of an underdog, which is like easier to like identify with him. And the way that he loses a parent is like so different.
Mhm.
Uh, just in the
Well, and like
intensity of
that's
it in the
another
scenario.
example, right? Is that like okay, so we're gonna make a Batman for the modern age. Both of
Hmm.
his parents have like pretty like average jobs, right?
Yeah.
Like his mom works in local politics. His dad is a elementary school teacher. It's like they're not rich, world renowned surgeon or I don't even know what Martha does other than running the foundation and like main canon.
Well, she'd have to be in the book for you to know anything about her.
Well, yeah, that's a fair point. Kind of doesn't work that way. Well, okay, this is I don't know where to slot this in, so I'll talk about it now.
Sure.
I think one of the biggest flaws in Absolute Batman, and something I don't think the other Absolute books suffer from, or at least not as much, is that they'll introduce the change to a character. They'll be like, "Oh, in this one, I don't know what's random. It like Matches Malone is his own person. He's not another Batman alter. Like he's his own person. Isn't that cool?"
Mm.
They'll do that, and then immediately it's like, okay, but we don't have time for that. We're gonna go focus on this. Um,
Yeah. Listen, the way that like Batman's friends, the rogues, are handled
that was
feels
bizarre.
like that. Um, but I do hear what you're saying. Like, there's so much stuff dropped in that first issue. Like, we didn't need to see Joker then.
We didn't
We
need to
really
see
didn't.
Joker.
And
We d-
like,
you get that weird fake out. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like the first part of the first issue where it's the
where
gym.
it's the
It's
guy that
Wayland's
looks
gym.
like Bruce,
Yes,
like prime Bruce, and then absolute Bruce actually walks in.
and it's like, what is the point of that? We already know. We can look at the cover and know this isn't the same. The book is called
I
Absolute Batman.
I hear what
It's
you're
just
saying.
wasted page time, in my opinion. In my
I
opinion.
do hear what you say. I do think that that is effective in just being like, here is your expectation for like what Batman is. I'm going to show you an image, and now we're going to put this other one right next to it. And I think that's fair. I think it's like it's setting the tone
Okay,
and the expectations for like what is this guy? What's his deal? Because if like I don't know, for example, like let's say you pick up a hardcover and it doesn't have like a dust jacket on it, and
sure.
like somebody like
You're like, oh, it's this
smeared
blank
something on
book.
the
Ah,
cover,
cool,
and it's
Batman.
like, oh, absolute Batman. I wonder what this is all about. Then it's like, whoa, I hear you. But anyways, um, and I think rereading that first issue, the ending reveal, other than Joker, because it's like an epilogue, the big twist at the end is like, oh, his mom's alive. And I'm
Hmm.
thinking back on these like what like 21 issues I've read, and I'm like, who are you?
Oh, like who's
What do
Martha?
you change?
Absolutely,
Yeah,
yeah.
what do you change about this story? Like how like Batman's deal is that he doesn't have parents. Yes, one of them was still murdered, but that is like that should
My
be
big
massive.
thing is that so Martha is alive, but okay, not to bring in Spider-Man and Batman discussion, but like absolute Martha is already in modern Aunt May scenario where it's like we're keeping her alive just for the sake of her being alive. But from issue one, like she's alive, so Bruce could be like, "Oh, I think I gotta keep alive," and it's like, okay, like, but who is? Yeah, you're right. Like, who is she?
Yeah, and like I do think this most recent issue. And listen, I'm just gonna go full spoilers here.
Yeah, if it
Uh,
wasn't clear from the get go, full
time
spoilers.
time of recording, issue number 18 came out. That is the second of Poison
Yes.
Ivy. this might be a fake out. I really hope it is. I would still hate that because you shouldn't threaten this at all, let alone do it. Martha might
Hmm.
just be dead.
Yeah,
She
she
might
just
have
might
just
be
gotten
dead.
shot. That is the implication. Um, and I think that is unbelievable in a really bad way. Um, because I can't possibly care about. Like, I'm not saying never kill Martha. Make it worth it is what I'm saying. um, and this is the same issue where like Batman goes on his whole like I don't need friends. I am the knight, and no one else. Like how you would expect Batman to
Yeah,
like
like classic
solve.
Batman.
Yeah, and so it's like we are like it just feels like he's just stripping the identity of this book just out of it. Like what's
Well, like,
different about him anymore?
I was gonna say, do we want to transition into that talking point? Because I know that was one of the things that kind of like sparked this idea about like specifically when Scott Snyder has this character under his pen, it's just him being like, "Let me do all the Batman stories I didn't get to do when I was writing Batman."
Yeah. I mean this whole book is that.
Yes.
Like this is what he wanted to do. Um and he's said as much. I just I mean you would know better than I would. I haven't read any like New 52
Yeah.
Batman. Um
I swear to God, if Absolute Lincoln Marsh shows up, we riot.
you got me on that one. I don't know that character.
He's basically Snyder's like uh self-insert like OC, and then it turns out
Okay.
he might be Bruce's brother. Like he might be Bruce's brother, but he's also a Talon, but he's like the best one. He's the best Talon to ever Talon or what.
Well, he could show up whatever Martha puts on the Talon costume again, because I guess that's what she's up to. Is that she's an
Yes, she's a
expert assassin?
Talon. Oh, she's the best one.
I don't, I don't
Actually.
know. It. I'll tell you what I thought of immediately whenever I read that part
Mm.
was how Sony wanted to make Aunt May spy movies.
Yeah, I remember reading that.
We're gonna have Spider-Man a lot in this. I don't know. It's just natural, I guess. But I just don't like. We get further and further away from the realness that I
Hmm.
loved about that initial arc. Because like, what is what is the main villain of that first arc? It is gang violence.
A real thing.
Who is the villain of the second arc? A cryo zombie. I don't need that to be real. It was 2 issues. That's fine. He was fine. Mr. Freeze was fine.
Like, oh, we're doing you see, look, it's different, but it's like kind of the same. Whoa.
The third arc, Bane, he's a kaiju when he wants to be. I don't know. I like. I just feel like we're getting so much. We're getting so much like crazy stuff that like just doesn't need to be here. Like I'm gonna tell you,
I
the
agree.
best issue of Absolute Batman is not written by Scott Snyder. It's the annual,
Yeah, it's the annual.
and
Easily.
it's like it's back to my point earlier. It's like it's very real. You know exactly what Daniel was thinking when he was writing and drawing that, and it like really means something to him. It's not like, oh, look at these Batman action figures. It's like, no, like that is a serious topic.
I thought it was
And
very
he,
notable that like Daniel was the one that posted the Absolute Batman anti-ice art. or art,
Yeah,
not Scott, not the creator of the character. As far as I know, he hasn't even commented on that. I'm very curious about like what his thought process was there. Like
who could say? That's not
truly,
really something I'd want to look into. It's just there's just
but I think it's
been
to your point, right? It's like you can tell what's in their heads, and what's in Scott's head is not telling like a super interesting, like grounded political story. It's whoa, Batman drives a dump truck. Isn't that crazy?
yeah, and I'll say this much, like, yes, shock value did work on me because there were things around it that were supporting it. I felt like we have gotten to the point where like we've gotten to the point where for no reason that I can possibly discern, Poison Ivy just has a mutant bird that is a biblically accurate angel. I don't know what that says. I don't know what he's trying
What's
to go
what's
for.
the statement?
That is not the big thing. I think it's just illustrative of like just the way the book is gone. Completely off the rails.
Oh yeah, it's like actually just like well, and then like you know, especially like if the conceit of the book is, oh, we're just gonna do like Batman stuff, but it's like crazy. It's like, okay, there are already like 7 million Batman books on the shelves. Why don't we save some room? If we're just gonna do, oh, Batman, but it's insane, like why don't we use that absolute slot for a different character that could like do like I get it, like he's the poster child, but it's like if I was gonna show somebody how cool the absolute universe can be, I would never start with absolute Batman.
I think you
Never.
could, actually. I think you could just hand someone the first trade and be like, check this out. And they'd be like, oh wow, he punts that kid? That was really funny. And also I liked that stuff about how like,
Uh,
greed corrupts like normal people and like, things that like speak to my life when I watch the news and I like feel my heart shatter, you know? Like
yeah.
that was in this book before. And now it's about the Joker turning into a demon. Okay,
And you're
sure.
just like, okay, yeah, where is like and what does that say? I don't know, it looks cool.
Like, yeah, yeah, like he's rich and he eats babies. That would be great if it was just that.
Yeah, what if he was just a normal guy who is nuts?
Honestly, if it was what I thought it was, where it's like, oh yeah, he needs like stem cells to keep himself like prolong
Sure.
his life or whatever. You could still have the like, oh, he was like a crazy kid and like 100 years ago or whatever. I don't think that would be I don't think that would be out of the question for like it's ridiculous, sure, but also like it's appropriately extreme for the book.
Issue pisses me off so
I mean I say
much.
that, but like I don't
Like
know, that just
the Joker
frustrates me
origin
so much.
issue. The origin,
Yeah,
big air quotes.
and I if it tells you anything about me, I don't know if it says anything about the book. The first version of it where it's like, "Oh, he's squeaky clean. Like we don't have any dirt on him."
Hmm.
That was more interesting to me than anything else cuz then it's
Oh,
like, "Oh, there's the
sure.
mystery there." And the second version, like, you still kind of had me where it's like, oh, yeah, like it's nefarious, yes, but also like it still is kind of grounded and real. The third one where he like turns into a creepy pasta or whatever, I couldn't hang.
Yeah, he's the smile entity or whatever. Like, okay.
And the thing about it too is I do think I know what Scott's thinking there. It's like everybody always says, like, Batman and the Joker are two like opposite sides of the same coin. I never really understood that conceptually, but in this book, it's like here's a guy who's not super wealthy. Like he steals a bunch of stuff, but he's not wealthy.
Yeah.
Um, and like is the underjaw dog and is like the agent of chaos in this universe. And then there's the establishment with Joker, who like is rich and he looks like Prime Bruce. And at the end of that issue, like
It's
he goes
baby.
to his like manor
Oh, yeah,
and
the
he has a
manor.
butler and he does the thing with the clock and like goes down to his cave. And I'm like, that's what this should have been, not the demon stuff.
Yeah, I just don't know. It just seems like it was created for variant covers. I don't know if that's mean to say, but it seems like variant cover bait to me.
I mean, you got that and you got Catwoman. They're just
Seriously.
cranking out. Which I actually do like Catwoman. I think that's like a cool. I think that is like genuinely maybe going to be one of the most successful things to come out of this book.
Oh,
Is that
probably. I mean,
character?
the fact that she's already getting her own book speaks volumes to that point.
Yeah, and it's
Literally announced like a month after her first appearance or whatever. I'm pretty sure. I think if you look on the timeline, it's like she debuts in 13, 14. One of the two.
I can tell you off the top of my head, but um, here's a question I have for you.
Yes.
What is your opinion on the treatment of Bruce's friends?
My biggest problem with the treatment of Bruce's friends is that I only care about them for that reason, right? They, I think it would be, I wouldn't say they were fridged because they're all men. But they were definitely like only created so fucked up things could happen to them. So like Bruce can feel sad about it because by the time, what? It's like issue 10, I think. At least when Waylon gets turned into the Croc. I'm
Yeah,
pretty
I
sure
mean
that's
it
issue
was during
10.
Bane, so yeah.
Yeah. So like we're only on issue 10. We've already lost probably his closest friend up to that point. But again, we still don't know him like that well.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't feel sad because this character I like has been turned, into a monster. It's like I feel sad for Bruce and it's like it's just so cliche and like I don't want to sound like it's like an intellectual, but it's like so trite, It's like,
Yeah.
oh no, you had friends in a superhero book? Guess they're freaking, yeah, they're gonna get fridged now. Like, whoa, who could have seen that coming?
I mean it's the Spider-Man thing. Like he can't let anyone know or get like close to anyone because then if somebody
Yes.
finds out, then they'll like attack him.
Well, and I think Snyder's thought process again to like try to guess at the madman, I suppose, was like, oh, like they know his identity, and probably most people expect that we're gonna do this long arc of like their lives getting endangered and like we're going to drag it out. So if we do it like instantly, that'll be really shocking, right? It's a good shock
Yeah.
value moment. But it's like, okay, like I guess you're right, it is shocking, but I don't care now because now these are characters that I barely like, very similar to Martha. It's like, okay, like yeah, that sucks, but like I barely know this person
Yeah.
So like I don't really know how I feel now that they're gone. It's like
I think a moment that really highlights that problem is the finale of the Bane arc. It has those pages that are like, here's everything that led up to this moment. And it's a bunch of flashbacks, just all in
yeah,
like
they do like a
a
JoJo
billion,
style like flashback. Yeah.
like a billion panels. And one of them is like Bruce, like remembering his mom. It's like it tries to be like this touching moment. And I'm like, I don't know you. You haven't been here. And I think that that is not as true with his friends, but I think it's so weird that at this point in time, Killer Croc is like fixed. He's a guy again.
Yes, he's the guy again. So we did
That's
that
crazy.
whole emotional like saga, right? We
Yeah.
do this whole like, oh no, he's been crocified. Like, what are we gonna do? And now it's fixed. So if they ever do it again, it's not gonna feel like genuine. It's gonna feel like, oh shit, like we don't know what to do with this character. Like, time to put him back in the croc suit. Like,
It's hard not to feel like. So I think about the crossover issues, right? There's the
yeah,
Absolute Wonder Woman and then there's the Absolute Batman. Kelly Thompson always crushes it, but she annihilated it there.
oh, absolutely.
And it was just like, it was obviously like, okay, I'm advancing the story for my book. And also, I want to have fun with this guy, like with this character that I'm
This
not
is an
going to get the
interesting new
chance.
character I haven't gotten to write. Like, let's do something with him.
Yeah. And it feels like, I guess you could say the same is true for the Absolute Batman side, but also, like, I can't help but think, like, I can't help but think that Scott might have thought of Diana more as like, here's a cool Deus Ex Machina I can use to fix this insane problem that I made.
Yes.
Literally, it's magic. Fixes this crocodile man, which feels deeply strange for a Batman book.
Yes.
And I get that, like,
Well, it's
we're crossing over, like we're adding new elements, but it just feels weird, I guess.
well. Here's to your point, right? Is it's like Absolute Batman can't make up its mind with its realism because I don't know. Well, okay, like uh, Mr. Freeze, like looks like some sort of vampire, does a lot of like vampire things,
Hmm.
you know. But oh no, no, we can't do that. He's a cryo zombie science. Like it needs to be like a more sci-fi explanation.
He's like a crusty guy. He's not
Yeah,
like a demon. That would be ridiculous.
that would be stupid. But the Joker, or then like the whole thing with like Ivy, like she goes on that whole speech about like I am the red and the green and the whatever, and I'm like whoa 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 whoa, whoa. Like we getting into that? Are we getting into like the elements and all like, or is she just crazy? Like what's going on?
I mean, I don't know what really any of those things are or what that entails, but I thought that that was kind of strange that we didn't get into that
Yeah,
because I know that those are like really important.
they are.
I
Well,
just don't
and
know what they are.
it's a great example of like Scott Snyder's like lack of collaboration. We already know that the red in this universe is what gives the Flashes their like speed powers. So it's like
Oh, interesting.
so Like, is that what she meant? Is that she can go really fast? She sure doesn't do that, you know,
Yeah.
in the fight. Also,
I
talk
think
about the most obvious absolute twist with Ivy. It's like, oh, everybody knows Poison Ivy is a hot woman. What if she was actually ugly plant monster?
oh,
Whoa, deep.
we're in a brave
Hashtag
new
deep.
world here. Yeah, and it's another thing about this is just like there's the Arc M special too, which is just a
Yeah.
whole like Joker thing origin. We had like two Joker origins.
Yes. Well, we
Why?
have like six or whatever. Freaking.
No, I mean two Joker origin issues.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't really understand why. Like I don't know. It just
I think it's very indicative that like Absolute Batman is the book that's gotten the most love outside of its actual numbering. Like it was the first one to have an annual. It has whatever the hell the Arc M special is. I really don't know why that isn't just a normal issue. I don't like it's not like you can read it separately. You can't just read that issue.
no, and like I mean Batman's like in it still, you know.
He's on the
Um
cover, so it'll sell.
I mean for like a page. I don't know. It I guess it just felt like an excuse to be like, "Hey, wouldn't this be messed up if this happened?"
Not to mention the fact that, like, as you said at the top of the hour, like this book is supposed to be the flagship, right? This is like the you want to read Absolute, start with this, right?
Yeah, I
It's
mean
also
like
a book that hasn't gotten into what makes the Absolute universe what it is at all. In every other book, we've had at least some reference to like the Omega energy or dark side or whatever. And then you get to this book and it's like evil Jonkler demon. Bleh.
that is true. It's That's actually really funny because like Scott like co-wrote All In. Like he like he is the center point of this entire thing. I mean Joshua Williamson's also there, but like it's Scott. Um and he was the one that wrote the Absolute Trinity in
Yeah.
KO as well. And like the only one
Well,
that really
that's its
felt
own
right
thing.
was Batman because of course. Gosh, I just like yeah, KO is its own thing. I don't want to get into it. It's just
Detective Comics knockout.
yeah. I just can't help but feel like he started with a great idea, like a fantastic idea.
Hmm.
And we got to see that like operating not as good as it could have, but like it was hitting hard. And his excitement to do like how many years has Batman been around? Like 100? His excitement to do like 100 years worth of Batman stories, like as quickly as he possibly can.
Yeah.
Like he's running this race and he forgot to tie his shoes and like he is stumbling. And it feels like too late for him to stop and tie them because everybody else is already ahead of him and he can't
They're
stop.
already leaps and bounds. Yes.
Yeah, and it's like I don't want this book to be bad. Like I was enjoying it, but it's just slipped away from itself. And it really feels like each and every person that's like gonna put their hands on this project and this character is just gonna do it better than him.
Oh, absolutely. Pun
I mean, I don't know
intended.
about the Arc M special. I don't know who wrote that. I don't know that I would
Frank
say
Gehry.
I, that you could miss me with that, honestly. But like, I have every confidence that like Absolute Catwoman is going to crush it. Uh, and like we already said, like Danny Warren Johnson, Kelly Thompson just nailed it. Um, and to a lesser extent, I would say, oh gosh, what's his name? James Heron did pretty good with that
Uh,
too.
yeah, with the short, yeah, the middle one. No, I
Yeah,
like that story a lot.
yeah, it's. I don't have some like big conclusion or like big point I'm driving at here. This was a yap session.
This was a separate. This needed to be yapped about. Um, I will say before we close, I want to say that I think it's going to be really interesting to see, you know, unintentionally so, we're getting close. Absolute Batman is getting closer and closer to where Ultimate Universe stuff is currently ending, right?
Right.
And as far as we know, Absolute isn't ending anytime soon. I know Nick Dragotta said that if they'll let him, he'll draw like 100 issues of Absolute Batman, which
Right.
I can't stress enough. I don't mind that Dragotta's on art. I would love that. If Snyder wants to bounce, but Dragotta wants to keep drawing, excellent. It sounds like a
Listen,
win in my book.
I I mean every once in a while like Dragotta like pumps out like a weird panel. By and large, like he is incredible in this book.
He's amazing, yes.
Yeah.
Um, anyway, to what I was driving at is that like we're nearing the point where the Ultimate books either sunk or flew, right? You
Mhm.
know, I feel like this is about when Ultimate X-Men was really like defining like itself as a generational run. I think this is right about when Ultimate Spider-Man started to get pretty boring and like just kind of reheating old vegetables. I can't really
It was
talk to
spinning its
Black Panther at
wheels.
all. Yeah,
Black Panther was about halfway through, so like I'd say like 10, 12 issues before it really like got traction.
yeah. And then the less said about Ultimate Wolverine, the better.
Oh my gosh. I mean, that had similar problems to this, where it's like it
I
started
mean,
out
actually,
great.
they're kind of cautionary tales, right? They're kind of two sides of the. To use the Batman Joker allegory, they're kind of two sides of the same coin.
You're actually cooking really hard with that because my one of my problems with both of these books is where it's like, here's a bold new thing we're doing. And we're going to start inching closer and closer and closer and closer to what the main universe books for these characters are like.
Yes.
And they're falling off hard because of it.
Well, and they both rely on maybe not like an intimate knowledge, but at least like a close relationship with the source material. Actually, I think this is a good point to like end on and put a pin in. What I love about most of the Absolute books is that they still hit without any of the context of the original characters. I think Wonder Woman is a great example of this. I feel like that book, you could give that to somebody who literally knows nothing about Wonder Woman, like doesn't even know what a Themyscira is, and they'd be like,
Yeah.
"Wow, this is just a really good book." Martian Manhunter is a really good example of that. Superman is like the freaking poster child for this.
Oh, for sure.
I know it's like almost impossible not to know anything about Superman, but like hypothetically, if you gave it to like an alien who like didn't know Superman, they'd be like, "Wow, this stuff is like actually really good." But with Batman and Ultimate Wolverine, if you don't know at least like entry level knowledge about the characters, there are so many moments that are just like, "Oh, okay." and even two people that know, they're just like, oh, okay. Um, like, not to turn this to talking about Ultimates. Spoilers for the first issue of Ultimate Wolverine. When they kill off Nightcrawler and Mystique, I'm just like, oh, okay, so you just killed off two characters I was interested in seeing. But then I thought about if I didn't know anything about X-Men, I was just like, oh, so Wolverine's like racist to blue people? Like, why is he killing these blue
Oh my
people?
gosh, that's
Right?
great.
Like, it doesn't work. Yeah, but that's my point, right? It's like it only
Yeah,
works if you know the characters, and that sucks because that's not really fun. That's just like lazy, I
to
think.
speak a bit more about that point, talking further on in Ultimate Wolverine, like spoilers.
Yes.
Uh, Whenever Abigail Brand showed up, I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I've I know people that are really into this character. I don't really know anything about her. I'm excited to be like, who is this person? Even if it's a different take.
Mhm.
Like what is this pitch? Like, who is this person? What are they going to do? How are they going to affect change?" I felt the same way about Black Widow. Whenever she showed up, I'm like, "Oh, this is a really cool book for her to be in." I'm like really curious to see like how she's different here and how she's going to handle the problem of Winter Soldier, etc.
Mhm.
We never get that, and then they die.
Yep. And then they're dead.
And I don't know that I would say that it's the exact same for Absolute Batman, but the vibes are similar, and
Yeah.
they're not good. Ugh. Yeah, I just I live in fear for the day we get like an absolute Justice League and it's written by Scott Snyder.
Written by Scott Snyder.
Uh,
Well, I mean, if you want to be technical, we already do have an absolute Justice League. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
yeah, well, okay, sure, yeah, but you get it. You get what I'm
No,
saying
I do.
because
Absolute
like
Crime Syndicate by Scott Snyder.
it's just like we've seen how he writes these other characters,
Hmm.
be they mind controlled or not. I don't really think that that matters. I think they should still be like consistent.
Yes.
Uh, and I just don't know how to be optimistic about it anymore.
Yes. I think it's a good way of putting it.
And my question to anyone anyone listening to this that's like, you have been absolutely loving this book from start to finish, and you're like, oh my gosh, Joker, I can't get enough of it. I'm just curious if you can articulate those feelings and just like examine it. Because I'd like to know. Uh,
Yeah,
Maybe I
I
could
would
see a different
understand this
perspective.
feeling.
Like I'm not trying to be like, "Oh, why do you like this?" Like I've genuinely like I don't see it anymore. This book left me like like 6 issues ago or something. And I'd just like to see
I think
because
that's
I
good.
don't
Yeah.
yeah, and like there's things we haven't talked about. Like, okay, something Robin is going to happen.
Yeah, we're getting Robin stuff. Slade is a thing.
Harley Quinn
We don't know what he
exists,
does. Harley Quinn exists.
which is a problem. Like, what the hell are we doing? Um,
Uh,
yeah.
this mysterious government agency that Alfred works for, like
Yeah,
presumably, why aren't they more of a presence? Like it feels like they should be more like on the field, but he's just kind of there.
Yeah, and I honestly I'm just so disinterested with that. It could be cool. I don't know, but I think I've exhausted I've exhausted my ability to talk about this book.
That's fair. Well, thank you so much for coming on to talk about it. I know you had a lot to say, and I hope you were able to get that off your chest. I was excited to talk about it because, as I like to say, as a reformed Bat God nerd, uh, it's always good to get some Batman angst off my chest and be like, I fucking hate this guy now. Two of
Yeah.
them. Do you have any final thoughts you want to leave our our lovely listeners with?
You know, I just when Absolute Batman comes out
Uh-huh.
and you're going in for pick of the week, I want you to ask yourself, were they really going for something? Is that indie book that you read, like, is that not deserving? Is that new number one with a hot new team? Like, just think about that, you know?
Yeah, considering.
I voted for Alias Red Band this week instead of Absolute Batman 18. That's
How would
just
I
me.
vote for him this week?
And
Oh, Bleeding Hearts. Easily.
the thing
Bleeding
about
Hearts
it
is
too is like whenever I was checking, it was like 54% were voting for Absolute Batman, and I
oh
was
yeah.
like, I kind of hated that issue. I just don't get it on its face, but I don't know. I I don't want to get into it. I've already we've talked for 50 minutes about this.
That's still shorter, folks. That's still short. We swear.
Yeah.
Alright.
Thank you for having me, by the way.
Yeah.
The story of how this episode happened was I just DM'd Thorn and was like, I'm upset
Talk about
and I
this.
need a platform.
I need to be platformed. Well,
Yeah.
we got you. And I think with that, we will sign off. Uh, see you. Wouldn't want to be you.
Bye bye.